Ever wonder where your money disappears to each month? It's a question we've all asked ourselves at some point. The answer lies hidden in our spending habits. Now, you might be thinking, spending habits, I only buy what I need. But do you, really? Understanding your spending habits is the first step towards frugal living. It's like peeling an onion layer by layer to reveal the core. The outer layers might be your necessary expenses, rent, utilities and food. As we peel away, we start to see the less essential ones, like that monthly subscription to a magazine you rarely read, or the daily gourmet coffee that could easily be replaced by a homemade brew. Tracking your spending is not about depriving yourself of life's little pleasures. It's about identifying the unnecessary expenses that nibble away at your hard-earned money. So, start today. Keep an eye on your spending. Knowing where your money goes can help you make smarter decisions about your spending. Ever heard of the saying, "A penny saved is a penny earned"? A wise man once coined this phrase, and it's the very essence of budgeting. Now, don't quiver at the thought of the word budget. It's not a monster hiding under your bed, ready to snatch away your hard-earned cash. Rather, it's a helpful tool that ensures your money is put to good use. Let's break it down, shall we? Budgeting is simply a plan for your money. It's a way of telling your money where to go, rather than wondering where it went. By creating a budget, you gain control over your finances. You decide what gets paid, when and how much. No more worrying about overspending because every penny has its place. Now, you might be thinking, how do I start a budget? Well, it's simpler than you imagine. A popular method is the 50-30-20 rule. Picture your after-tax income as a pie. Delicious, isn't it? Now slice that pie into 3 parts. The largest piece, 50% of your pie, should go to essentials. These are things you absolutely need to survive. We're talking about rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries and transportation. The second slice, 30% of your pie, is for your wants. This is the fun part. It includes dining out, hobbies, entertainment, and that adorable pair of shoes you've been eyeing. Lastly, the smallest piece, 20% of your pie, is for savings. This is your safety net, your rainy day fund. It's for things like retirement, emergencies, or that dream vacation you've been dreaming about. But remember, these percentages are not set in stone. It's your pie, after all. Adjust the slices according to your needs and goals. The important thing is to have a plan and stick to it. In the end, budgeting is not about depriving yourself. It's not about living on bread and water, unless, of course, you enjoy that sort of thing. It's about understanding your financial capabilities and making smart decisions. So go on, take that first step towards financial freedom. Remember, budgeting is not about depriving yourself. It's about understanding your financial capabilities. How many of you spend a pretty penny on cable? Cable television, that old chestnut. The go-to for entertainment in homes for decades. But let's be honest, it's becoming quite the costly affair, isn't it? Now, I'm not suggesting you give up on your favorite shows and live like a hermit. No, not at all. There are plenty of alternatives that are both cheaper and, dare I say, better. Streaming services, for instance, they offer a vast array of shows and movies, often at a fraction of the cost. Why pay a hefty sum for channels you don't even watch? With streaming services, you pay for what you want. It's like having your cake and eating it too, except the cake doesn't cost an arm and a leg. And the best part, you're not tied down with contracts. You can hop on and off whenever you like. Freedom and savings, what a splendid combination. Cutting the cord doesn't mean you have to miss out on your favorite shows. It just means you'll have more money in your pocket. How often do you find yourself ordering takeout because you're too tired to cook? Now, let's talk about a subject that's near and dear to our hearts and stomachs, and that's food. We all need to eat, but how we choose to feed ourselves can have a significant impact on our wallets. Dining out or ordering takeout can be a delightful treat every now and then, but when it becomes a habit, it can quickly drain your bank account. Consider this, the average cost of a meal at a restaurant, even a modest one, can be around $20. Now multiply that by the number of times you eat out in a month. Scary, isn't it? On the other hand, the cost of cooking at home is usually much less. With just a few dollars, you can whip up a hearty meal that could last for a couple of days. Not to mention, when you cook your own meals, you have the power to control what goes into your food. You can choose fresh, healthy ingredients instead of processed ones. But I don't know how to cook, you might say. Well, you're in luck. The internet is chock full of simple, cost-effective recipes that even the most inexperienced cook can master. You don't need to be a gourmet chef to prepare a delicious and satisfying meal. A simple pasta dish, a hearty soup, or a homemade pizza can be just as pleasing to the palate and much kinder to your pocket. And let's not forget the joy of cooking. There's something incredibly satisfying about creating a meal with your own hands. It's a chance to be creative, to experiment with flavors, and to take pride in your culinary creations. So the next time you're tempted to reach for that takeout menu, why not head to the kitchen instead? You might be surprised at how much money you can save. Cooking at home not only saves you money, but it's also healthier and more satisfying. Why buy when you can DIY? That's a question worth pondering, isn't it? Truth be told, we often pay a premium for store-bought items, from home decor pieces to personal care products. And for what? For the convenience? Perhaps. But is it truly worth it? What if I told you that DIY, or do-it-yourself, could be a fun, cost-effective alternative? Yes, you heard it right. From crafting your own unique home decor to whipping up your own personal care products, the possibilities are endless. Plus, it's a double whammy. You save money and have a great time doing it. The beauty of DIY lies in its flexibility. You can tailor-make items to your liking, add your personal touch, and create something that's truly you. And the best part, it's a fantastic way to cut costs without cutting corners. So the next time you're about to buy something, ask yourself, can I make this myself? To live frugally doesn't mean to live miserably. It's about making choices that put you in control of your money. And our journey together has shown just how manageable and even enjoyable it can be. We started by examining our spending habits, didn't we? Understanding where your money goes is the first step towards a frugal lifestyle. It's like knowing the battlefield before the war. When we track our expenses, we can identify areas of unnecessary spending and start to make changes. It might not seem like much, but a series of small savings can add up to a significant sum over time. Then we moved on to the art of budgeting. A well-planned budget is like a roadmap guiding us toward financial freedom. It's about allocating our resources wisely, prioritizing needs over wants, and always having a clear picture of our financial health. A good budget isn't restrictive. It's freeing. Next, we talked about cutting the cord. In an era of countless streaming services, we can choose the content we want without paying for a pricey cable package. Remember, every penny saved on those monthly bills is a penny earned. The power of cooking at home took the spotlight next. Not only does this tip nourish our bodies, but it also feeds our wallets. With a bit of planning and some culinary creativity, we can make meals that are healthier and cheaper than anything we'd find in a restaurant. Finally, we embrace the world of DIY. Whether it's home repairs, crafting, or even growing your own vegetables, doing it yourself is a fun and rewarding way to save money. Plus, you're picking up new skills along the way. In sum, frugal living is about understanding your spending, budgeting wisely, cutting unnecessary costs, cooking at home, and embracing the DIY spirit. Each of these tips offers potential savings that, over time, can make a considerable difference to your financial well-being. Remember, frugality isn't about sacrifice. It's about making smarter choices. So, are you ready to start saving?